The first layout is going to be using the whole piece of the light blue wash. The backside has the daisies. We're going to be using our large piece of the cupcakes and the strip of the dark blue stripe, the diagonal stripe. The backside of this is the candles. If you don't have a piece that's just like this, you can either use a piece of cardstock, another scrap that you like to go with this, or there is a whole sheet of this piece of paper left. You could cut it from that. Although I am using that in one of the other layouts, but it's up to you. This is all about how you want to use your scraps to the best. I'm just giving some suggestions. All right. So we're going to do some welding first thing first here. So with welding, we use a piece of scrap paper to create a seam. So I'm just going to cut first 2 1-inch strips. Actually, we're going to need a couple of seams here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 4. And you can use any piece. I recommend cardstock rather than designer paper, but you can use any scrap cardstock you have. You're not going to see it, so it does not matter what color it is. So just use whatever you have. You could even use it from that light blue piece that we have left over from here. All right. So these are the pieces that are going to be my seams when I create my weld. And I'm going to cut the light blue piece down in half. So we're going to cut that at the 6-inch line so that we'll have 2 6 by 12 pieces of this. For the cupcakes, this one is 10 inches. And we're going to cut one. One's going to be 4 inches wide and one is going to be 6 inches wide. So we're going to cut this at the 4-inch mark. So I've got one 4-inch piece and one 6-inch piece. And then I'm going to take my blue piece, and it is 4 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and trim that down. Actually 4 3/4. So I'm going to do one piece that's 6 plus 4. I got to do scrapbooker math, guys. I'm going to put these guys together. This one is 6 and 4. So that's 10. Yep. So I'm going to do a 2-inch piece. And one piece that's a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's going to be at the 2-inch line. So 2 3/4 and 2 inches. Try to play around with the sizes that you like as well. So these guys are going to go together like that. This one is going to be have a little bit of overlap because it is a little bit bigger. I'm just going to do something about like that. Okay, so the trick that I use when creating a weld is I take the piece that I'm using for the seam and I pretty much just cover it top to bottom, not quite entirely, but mostly with tape, repositional tape runner. And then I lay this out on the line where the width of my paper. So this piece is 6 inches wide. I'm going to lay it down at 5.5. And then I'm going to put my paper right at this 6. The other thing I do is just put just a little dab so this sticks to the mat. All right, and now I'm going to line this up. Oops, missed the spot there. There we go. So now using my 13-inch mat, I've got these great measurement marks. And I can line this up perfectly at the line where that goes. And then my next piece is going to be the blue. And I'm just going to align that right there like that. Just butt those edges up next to one another. And then I need another seam for my third piece of paper. And this one is going to go that just a little bit at the 8.5. Right there. And I do the same thing here. I'm just gonna line this piece up so that I know that it's nice and straight. Because essentially what we're doing is we're constructing a 12 piece of 12 by 12 paper with 3 other pieces to make it to total 12 by 12. And then the last piece here is this stripe. Okay, so now I've got my left-hand side of my layout, and I'm going to repeat that over here. Lay this down. So just the same process, just this time I'm going right to left instead of left to right. Put that piece down. And then in this case, I don't really, oh, it's matched up exactly, didn't it? 6 by 6. Well, I think I'm gonna save this strip for something else. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in place here. Just kind of winging it a little bit in case you didn't notice. All right, so now I've got my 2 base pages constructed. I've got a left-hand side and a right-hand side. And I've got this nice strip. I might lay this over here like that, just kind of center that on there. Maybe I'll put it over here, trim it down maybe and put it over here. I can make a border on this side. All right, and so from here, you have a lot of options for what you could do with your photos. So for example, we've got some 4 by 6 photos here. You could do 2 4 by 6s in the middle. You could do 3.5 by 5.5. You could do 2 of those there like that. And then maybe you get a lot of photos on here. You could do kind of like 3.5 by 3.5. And again, this is just going to totally depend on what photos you have. You do something like that, and then do your embellishments in a triangle cluster. So I like that. Okay, let's stick our photos down. So I'm just positioning these so they're equidistant apart. Then we'll get to the fun part. I'm going to line up the top of these two photos here. And the bottom of these two photos here, so that there's a straight line going. And then I'm going to put, so that's the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to leave this edge about the same. And then I'm going to split the middle here. About like, I think I need to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to about 1.5 inches. You know, I think I'm going to look at my other scraps here. We've got these really nice 12-inch strip. I kind of like, oops, that one's not 12 inches. There were 11 inches and 12 inches on those strips, if I remember right. Yeah, I kind of like that just to kind of offset the edge a touch there. And maybe put one over here as well. There and here. And that gives you some consistency. And then we've got a great selection of border stickers left. So I think we can really make some nice borders. These guys. Overlap that just a little bit so that the seam doesn't come through. Using my silicone mat always when I use my repositional tape runner, that I don't get a lot of excess adhesive on my mat or on my papers. Okay. And this I need to adhere down to. So I'd love to hear or read your comments about what you think of this layout. If you've used the, just take this down a little bit firmer, use the welding technique before. There's a few different ways that you can weld. And when we do another one, if we have another weld in this project, I'll show you another way that I sometimes do it. It's really just a matter of personal preference. All right, so we've got our base down here. Let's embellish. So you absolutely could use mats in some of these places. We've got some great some really nice photo mats left. And we can also use those for that one for titles. You could use this one here. I like that. There's an orange one we could use down here. Let's see if we can find another blue one. There's a light blue one. There's a dark blue one, a little bit different pattern. Possibly. I like these for journal boxes. There's a good title there. This was the best, celebrate. I like this because of the cupcake. We might use that as a title. Confetti everywhere. Oh, here's another one of the blue dot ones. So I think we would do something like that. All right, and let's pull out our border stickers. All right, so the border stickers, one is flowers, which I don't think go great with that. This one is a row of icing, which is like the icing border around. And I think that would work pretty well, particularly on this side because the blue would offset that. So let's go with that, and maybe we'll stick the other one. I think I like it going this direction better. And then I'll put this one here. Because I don't think there's contrast between the blue sticker and this blue edge. Would be quite enough here. All right, so let's just here our mats. This down. About 1/4 of an inch from the left-hand side and at about 5 3/4 up or 6 1/4 down. So I'm going to do it about an 1/8 so that's 1/6 and an 8/8 down from the top. So it'll be split the difference. Put that one at about 1/4 of an inch up from here. No, like that. Oops. All right, so let's get a title on here and maybe a journal box and some fun embellishments. So we've got this bit of embellishments and we've got these stickers and titles. I love the tag. I think maybe we could use this tag as a little bit of a journal here. We can add some fun cupcake stickers. We've got these cupcake stickers. We've got this cupcake sticker. It's a cupcake kind of day. How perfect is that, right? Let's do it's a cupcake kind of day. And maybe find use this blue, this dark blue sticker. It's a cupcake kind of day. Maybe I'll put this down here with this. Here, add some adhesive there, and then up here. Double checking the I'm gonna take this guy here. I think actually I'm gonna cut it down even just a little bit more. So it's, my blue piece is still on there. So half of this would be 3 1/4. And let's just take a 1/4 inch off the top and bottom of this one. It's got a lot of white space. And I think we could take one of our scraps. We've got some pretty, got one of these. We could overlay like that. Maybe put this at an angle on there. And I think I'd like to pop up these other cupcake stickers. So I'm gonna use my anti-stick powder. And to do that, I've got my, just pull the lid off and see how it works off camera. It's got a little sponge applicator, and so that de-sticks your stickers. And then I can take some photo tape and cut it to size and make a little pop-up sticker with that. There. Half. There, part of it there. Oh, I need to cut it down even a little bit more. Let's see, I need to make my triangle here. So I've got here, here, and put this down in the middle over here, I think. Maybe I'll go here, and I'll use this fan embellishment here as a little bit of a background. That looks super cute. You know what? I'm going to cut this in half so I can maybe use it for something else. Did you know if you take a circle, any circle, any size, and you put it between the two little edges on the cut portion of your 12-inch trimmer, that this will cut the circle in half, exactly in half every time. So there's a tip trick for you. So cut that up. Quite go all the way through. So I'll just take my little scissors. So I'm going to put that guy there, and maybe I'll add this one over here. Be something like that. All right. Okay. We like our embellishments to be in 3s, so I'd like to find a little something extra to put there. So maybe this little bit of a streamer. I think that looks cute there. And then I've got another one of those that I'll use ink down here just to kind of on this over here to kind of bring it together. So let's build this sky. I'm gonna offset that and exactly 100% sure where I want to put it. An angle. Kind of bring them together and then something like that as well. Have another bit of confetti. There's a big, oh, the hearts on here, but I kind of, we'll save the hearts for something else. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. You could do a number of different things with this. This is a little bit of a small journal area. You could definitely add some additional journaling here. I feel like I would like some more embellishments up here, but maybe once you get your photos on, it wouldn't seem like you needed it as much. So there's layout number 1 of our using our leftovers. Let's move on to layout number 2. I'm going to tidy my space.